Now, Alhaji Baraje.
Well, I think I would say it's rather a very sad issue of what happened on Saturday, that PDP is acting out the proverb that a house divided against itself will not stand. But I think Governor Akpabio is on a firmer ground when he stated that the procedure for holding a convention must follow certain parameters. And I think he's right, because there would have been notice to INEC. INEC officials will come to witness the convention. The venue of the convention would have been known before now. A period of time or notice must have been given as to the number of days or months, as the case may be. I think that the convention that held at the Eagle Square had the force of law. The people that got annoyed and left wouldn't have left if things had gone the way they have thought about it. On the position of law, the convention recognized will be the one that was held at the Eagle Square. But having said that, the people that left also will have some points. It is to the fact that there are issues within the party and that they are not pleased by it. When a child begins to kick at home, particularly a small boy, you may decide to flog the child. But if the child cries to a point, it becomes an issue for the members of the family. And I think that was the point that was made by those persons that left the venue of the convention to another venue. You will not take the likes of Alhaji Abubakar Atiku as somebody who is a small fry in the party. You can't say so. The likes of Governor Rabiu Kwakwaso, the one of Jigawa, and name them. These are voices within the party. I think, like Governor Akpabio said, apart from being that this is the party's family affair, I think the family must need do more. Because PDP, as it were, from 1999 to date, has been in the party at the helm of affairs. And they cannot afford to get it wrong. If they get it wrong, it means a number of challenges will be coming along the way. But again, their misfortune is the joy to the opposition. Because if there are challenges within the party and things are falling apart, the center cannot hold, the opposition is happy for it. I think the party should put its house in order. And this was my counsel in April 2012, when Alhaji Bamagatuku won the election. I counseled and I said that he must use his wealth of experience to ensure that there is cohesion in the party. People who are aggrieved, they are appealed to, and that the things that ought to be done decently and in order should be so done. But I think the end result of all that we are seeing is centered on who takes charge of the Aso Rock in 2013. And that is the end result of what we are seeing. But if that be the case, they must act in such a form to ensure that one of their own is the one that takes charge. For example, if a father says a child should not sleep in a particular room today, and the child gets annoyed and he sets the house ablaze. Now, if he sets the house ablaze, where will he sleep if the father asks him to come and sleep in another room? So if they set their house ablaze and power is taken away from them, what would they be fighting for? I think the leadership of the party must sit together. It must be give and take. You can't have it all. The national chairman of the PDP must be thinking in a form that is larger than now, having a very large heart to accommodate persons who may not even see the way he is saying. It is politics, it is interest.
All
and
right.
where your interest lies,
Mr.
you will
Nkrumah,
definitely work in that direction.
Sorry
and
that I have
think
to
one
cut
of the
you
things
cut
when
in this time
some of
around.
us were
If you
aggrieved,
take a good
you know, I
look at
contested
some
for
of
the
the
national
pictures of
legal
where
advisor.
we have the Atiku and the other governors faction met yesterday, it doesn't appear that that was an impromptu. That came out of something that of a convention when they were aggrieved. It seems to be a planned, a well thought out design, and afterwards they just got a very good opportunity to arch it out. I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong, but it does appear that that venue seems to be well prepared. That occasion seems to have awaited the convention to go wrong, and they took that decision. What do you make of that?
Well, as politicians, I think they must have plan B. From what I read in the papers today, like for example from Adamawa State, 2 forms of delegates were already, their names were already forwarded to the national headquarters. And knowing fully well, because the people involved also have been actors in this regard. They've also done similar things before. So they know that when you are at the saddle, what the power that the party can wield. So they must be anticipating that. It must have been that if they allow us to do it in the way that the preaching is going on, then we will not fall on plan B. With what I saw and the number of persons that I saw at that gathering where they had the second factional convention, I think it was a plan B, that peradventure plan A fails, we will go for plan B. And I think that was what happened.
Okay, let's come to our Lagos studio now. Tell me, with what we saw, is there any form of democratic? Okay, let me put it in a more easy way now. We saw those people at the left. Do they look like Democrats in any sense? If they are aggrieved, do you think there are other means that they should have taken instead of going that way? Is it legal for them to hold that kind of gathering they held?
Well, first of all, from a point of view of legality, there's freedom of association under the Nigerian Constitution. So they have that freedom to, come together and deliberate about issues. Now, to the finer points of perhaps the use of the name new PDP and so on, those are hurdles which they would have to deal with. I think what we have in Nigeria, and I've made this point constantly. I write a column, a bi-monthly column in This Day, and I've made that point there, that currently we are still an evolving democracy. And what we have predominantly is, it's a zero-sum game. It's about power. Our political elites are still fundamentally, consumed with the desire for power. If I turn the question on its head, and let's assume, for argument's sake, that Goodluck Jonathan, our president, comes out and says, I have no interest in 2015, I'm not running, I don't even have a preferred candidate for 2015. He makes that clear. You would see the very following day that all these actors will be back within the fold of the PDP. I can assure you that. So the question for them really is about power. Democracy is simply a structure which currently suits them as a structure to use with the objective of power. Now, you said something earlier. How does this affect the average Nigerian man? I was reading an interview with Dr. Christopher Kolade, the chairman of SHOPE, which is a program set up by the federal government to bring about employment using savings from the subsidy on petroleum. Now, he says we have over 40 million Nigerians unemployed. That is an issue that's not on the front burner. So you can see that from our politics, because it's not issue-based, it's really about power. The common man in Nigeria is not the predominant factor in what is playing out. What is playing out is about who will be on the saddle in Aso Rock come 2015. So
basically, there is, it might be politicking now,
yes,
but there is an aftermath effect that may come on Nigerians, that Nigerian on the street, isn't it?
Yes.
Because someone on Twitter is saying that Bankole Oluwaseun says, when PDP is in crisis, believe me, Nigeria is in crisis, but the step taken by the Baraji and the 7th governor is not democratic. So what's the PDP? What is happening? The crisis in the PDP, it probably will have an effect on the Nigerian